Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about advent calendars yet again. I know it's super early, but we need to be prepared because advent season is just around the corner. So this year, if you're thinking of buying an advent calendar, whether that's for yourself or if you're going to gift one, I put together some tips to help you make the right choice of which advent calendar to buy. Now, there are so many advent calendars out there every single year, and every year there seems to be more and more brands releasing beauty advent calendars, and it can be very difficult to choose which one to get, which is why I know a lot of you end up with more than one. And yeah, I would be exactly the same. Even without YouTube, there's no way I could pick between some of them. But not all of the advent calendars are actually worth your money. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 10 tips to help you choose the right beauty advent calendar this year. From what to look for to how to get the best value and make sure you're not disappointed and don't miss out on them. So get yourself comfy, grab yourself a drink, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button as well if you love beauty advent calendars as much as I do. And let's dive into it. So tip number 1. Set a budget. Now, the beauty advent calendars can range from as little as £20 to hundreds of pounds. I think last year the most expensive one I picked up was Vogue, which was £350 or £355. But last year, like, the Dior advent calendar was £570, which is just insane for an advent calendar. But they can be quite expensive, and a lot of the ones I picked up tended to be around about the £200 mark, some of them £250. So obviously, if you don't know which one to get and you end up with a few of them, that can add up quite quickly. So I'd recommend deciding how much you are willing to spend on a beauty advent calendar this year before you start looking at them. So this can help narrow down your options. So if you know your budget is £150 or just £50 or £250, that kind of gives you a ballpark figure of what advent calendars kind of fit into that category and which ones I can look for. And that can definitely help with overspending. So I definitely recommend that. Now this year, I think a lot of them will be a very similar price to the previous year. There are some that don't really change in price, like for example, Harrods has been the same price for at least 3 years now. It's been £250, whereas other ones tend to just go up by maybe like £5 or £10. So that's just something to look out for as well. The calendar that you bought last year might not be the same price this year. But if you've got a budget, you know what you can afford to spend and stick to that. So tip number 2 is look at the overall product breakdown. So the brands usually release a big list of the contents way before the advent calendars go on sale, so we have an idea of what is actually going to be inside. Some brands will do a sneak peek, and then closer to the date of launching, they'll then release the full content list so we can have a good look. There's always a picture with it so you can see what the products are and what you think of them. And what I recommend looking for is how many full sizes versus mini sizes are actually available in the calendar. So that's the first thing. A lot of calendars now have a lot of full sizes in, which is amazing. That is great value for money, but some of them don't, which means that you are getting a lot less product for your money. Obviously, it depends on what those products are, but that is definitely one thing to look out for. The second thing to consider is, do you already have those products? So the Cult Beauty Advent Calendar, for example, will probably have a lot of products in that I already have this year. I will still pick this up to unbox for you, but that's just because I have a YouTube channel. But if I saw the contents of the Advent Calendar and I didn't have a YouTube channel, and I had the majority of them, it's not worth my money purchasing another Advent Calendar and having duplicates of everything. It's just not worth it. So definitely think about, do you already have that product? Are you going to use that product? Because if not, it'll just sit there and go to waste, and then you've essentially wasted your money. And thirdly, are the products actually useful? Like, there might be some viral products in there that are super popular, but is this something you're actually going to use? Is it a product that is going to work for you? Because there are definitely some products that have gone viral that almost draws you in a little bit, doesn't it? It makes you want the product, but then you actually think, do I actually want this product? Is this for me? If it's not for you, don't buy it. There's no point. So same with the advent calendar. If there's products in it that aren't actually going to be useful for you, if the products aren't right for your skin type, or if the makeup isn't the right shades for your skin, then it's not worth picking up. But this is why I like that brands release their product list and a picture of the advent calendar and the contents prior to it actually going on sale, so we can have an idea of what's available. Obviously, it is quite difficult because all brands launch their advent calendars at slightly different times, so you might snap one up and then the other one gets announced. But generally, we do have an idea of what's going to be in them early, which is good. The next tip is consider the product categories in the advent calendars. So what is it that you're actually looking for? If you love skincare, if you're not really bothered about makeup but all you want is skincare, then there are quite a lot of brands that actually have just skincare focused advent calendars. A lot of skincare brands have their own advent calendars where it'll be a whole skincare routine just full of their products. For example, Elemis is one of those. I generally pick up Elemis calendars and it's just full of Elemis skincare, which is what I like. But if you prefer makeup, then there are definitely advent calendars which which are just makeup, which are more suited to you. And if you like a bit of both, then there's quite a lot of them which are mixed. I think the majority of the advent calendars that I pick up are actually mixed, and for me that's just personal preference. But for example, we've got like Harrods, we've got Cult Beauty, we've got Look Fantastic, we've got Sephora, Glossy Box. There are lots of them which are mixed, and also some that are more mixed with like lifestyle gifts as well, for example like Vogue. So definitely think about what you actually want from this advent calendar. If you want a new skincare product every single day, then definitely look for a skincare focused one. But if you want a bit of everything, then there's definitely those kind of calendars out there for you as well. The next tip is to check the total value. So a lot of brands advertise that their advent calendars are worth a lot more than what you're paying, and that is great. Sometimes they'll say, oh, it's an 80% saving. They won't actually say the value of it. So make sure you look at the value and check what you're actually getting for the money that you're paying. Now the value of some of them seem to go up every single year, which is amazing. For example, like Harrods, that was the highest value ever last year. Cult Beauty and Sephora, they tend to be quite high value as well. But some of the single branded advent calendars tend not to be as good value. I did do a breakdown of the value of advent calendars in my advent award video earlier this year, and the results showed that the multi-brand advent calendars are much better value than the single brand advent calendars. But again, it's what you're looking for that you need to take into account when actually looking at the value as well. Because even if the skincare ones aren't as good value, if you just want skincare, then it is better value for you. So a lot of this does come down to personal preference. The next tip is look for exclusive items. So this is not super common, but it's sometimes a nice little extra that some brands actually include in advent calendars. They will release like a limited edition product or a product in collaboration with their advent calendar. So they might have different packaging or a new shade or something that you can only get from this advent calendar, and that just adds something a little bit more exclusive and can make the whole advent calendar feel a lot more special. So if that's something that you want, then that's definitely something to look out for. In the past we've had Look Fantastic and Glossy Box tend to do something. I think we've had from Look Fantastic in the past like a makeup brush pouch with some brushes in. Vogue did a limited edition eye mask in collaboration with a brand. I think it was it Yoke? It was a silk eye mask. That was exclusive to the advent calendar. So these products do exist. So if you're looking for more exclusive products, that's definitely something to look out for as well. The next thing to look out for is to check if brands are repeating products. So some super popular products will be in calendars again this year, and they were already in calendars last year. Now obviously this is amazing if you love that product because you're just topping up your stash. Instead of just purchasing that product on its own, you're purchasing it as part of a bigger calendar and you've got lots more items with it as well. But if you're not keen on that product, then it's definitely not as exciting. But if you want everything brand new in this advent calendar or just a nice new surprise every single day in December, then repeats aren't that exciting, are they? So yeah, definitely just compare it to the previous year. That's something that I will be doing this year as well when I'm announcing all the advent calendars and the contents as well. Next is to think about the storage space, because some of these advent calendars are quite big. Like I think the biggest one last year was the Vogue one. Like they come quite tall, like it's quite difficult to get it in the camera sometimes because they are quite big and quite bulky. Or some of them have special designs like the MAC advent calendar. Like that was a selection of presents last year, like boxes stacked on top of each other, which was beautiful. But you obviously need somewhere to put that, to have it on display as an advent calendar in December. Because compared to a chocolate advent calendar, these are bulky, so you need the space. Now something similar to that is to think about the packaging and sustainability. So obviously not everybody will be interested in sustainability and in reusing, recycling, anything like that. But I know a lot of you like to reuse the advent calendars, and some of them are just so pretty, they're hard to get rid of. But lots of them in previous years have beautiful reusable designs. You can have it as like a jewellery box, or just like makeup and skincare storage, or craft storage. There are so many different things we can do with the advent calendar, and it's a bonus when it's pretty as well. Now some of them obviously are very Christmassy themed, which you don't really want out all year round. But if you want a calendar that you want to reuse the packaging for, then there are definitely options, or there will be options this year, which aren't as Christmassy but still look nice as decor out all year round. And also think about how it can be recycled. If you are trying to be a little bit more sustainable with your purchases this year, can you actually recycle the calendar? Is it easy to recycle, or can you pass it on to somebody else as well? Can we make use of it another way? The next tip is to pay attention to delivery dates. So these advent calendars start going on sale very early, which obviously is great, gives you lots of time to choose which advent calendar is for you. But the pre-order windows and the shipping times will vary, especially if the calendar is coming from another country. So when some calendars go on like pre-order, they will usually specify when those calendars will be shipped roughly. Last year there were some issues with a couple of them, But generally, a pre-order calendar should arrive in advance of the general sale calendars. So that is something to consider. So if there's one that you've got your eye on that you definitely want, if there is a pre-order window available, I'd definitely recommend picking it up sooner rather than later, so you've definitely got your hands on it. Because if it comes to the 1st of December and your calendar isn't here, or you've not ordered one yet, it's going to be very difficult because there's not going to be many left by that date. And of course, if you are ordering from a different country than the one you live in, then definitely check out the delivery times on the website just to check that it will arrive in time for December, because if it doesn't, again, you're going to find it very difficult to find a replacement. Now, another thing to look for in these beauty advent calendars is everyday essentials. So if you're looking to make a smart purchase by picking up an advent calendar, obviously you are paying a lot less money for each individual item in there compared to if you were just going to buy all of those items in the shop. So if you are looking to stock up your products by purchasing a beauty advent calendar, then look for like everyday essential products. So an advent calendar which has like a moisturizer, a mascara, a cleanser, this can give you a lot more long-term value than the more niche items or one-time items that you will forget about. You know, it's nice to have something super like sparkly and wow because it's a beauty advent calendar, but if it's not actually going to give you as much value and you're not going to get as much use out of it as a more generic product, then it might not be as valuable in the long term. Now, 2 bonus tips. So tip number 11 is to see if there is a hero product in 1 or 2 of the doors on your advent calendar. So most calendars include a standout product. Often it's in Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, so day 24 or day 25. Sometimes it's day 18, if you know what I'm talking about. Now this could be like a full-size serum, a full-size eyeshadow palette, or just a wow product, maybe like a viral product, or just a very valuable product that they know is going to entice everybody in. Now, if you want that product, if you love that product, if this is a product you were going to buy anyway, sometimes it is worth picking up the advent calendar for that reason. And then if you are just interested in that one product, you can then rebundle the rest of the advent calendar as Christmas gifts. So as long as it can be repurposed, sometimes it might actually save you money in the long run by purchasing the advent calendar to get that product. And then the final bonus tip is to subscribe to my website. Now on my website, I will be announcing every single launch of waitlists, of advent calendars going on sale, of advent calendars coming back in stock. Any updates, it will be on my website. If you subscribe to my website, then you will also get an email every single time I post. So you're not going to miss out. You don't have to keep checking my website every single day. You'll get an email straight to your inbox. So any updates will come straight to you. So you're not going to miss out on anything. So if you don't want to be bombarded by emails from 27 different websites telling you, oh, our advent calendar's coming on this date, our advent calendar's coming on this date, then I will be sharing that information anyway. I'll also be including the full breakdowns of the products, the prices and comparisons to the previous years as well, to help you work out which is the best advent calendar to get for 2025 and which is the best value for you. So my website is MissBoux.com. I will leave it in the description down below. It's free to subscribe. You just pop in your email and then you'll start getting emails from me. So those are my top tips to help you choose a beauty advent calendar this year. So whether you love skincare, makeup, or just like a nice different daily surprise in December, hopefully this should help you choose the best beauty advent calendar for you and avoid any letdowns. So let me know if you're going to be picking up a beauty advent calendar this year and if you've actually already got some in mind. And if there's any beauty advent calendars that you'd like to see me unbox on my YouTube channel, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to pick that one up and unbox it. But that is everything for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you did find this helpful and hit subscribe. I'll be unboxing a lot of beauty advent calendars again this year. So make sure you are subscribed, click the bell to be notified every time I post so you don't miss out on anything. And I'll see you soon for another video.